Yo, what's going on?
Howdy.
We're back live. What's going on? It's your guy Tyrone, aka Mr. Chocolate, and I got the big homie Black Pearl.
Hey.
Right? And we got the doctor. I said the doctor's in the house. Dr. Rain. Right. Oh, well, we got a red cup. Oh, you know, I'm saying what's in that red cup? Oh, she about to talk crazy.
It's general. It's G drink, a G drink, not a PG or X or R, whatever.
Okay.
It's a kid-friendly drink.
Hey, you know, it's kind of late and you're grown. They ain't tripping.
It's work tomorrow. I got to stay focused.
Yeah, because them folks will write you up.
Like they ain't coming with some and then those
Don't ride the white horse.
That's not the white horse. That's cocaine, ain't it? Damn.
I'm
talking about drink. You talking about the white horse. Oh my gosh. Come ride the white horse. Yo, that is a joint though.
That is for real.
Ride the white. Now don't ride the white horse, y'all.
No, it's regular kid-friendly drink in here, please and thank you.
You know, I was surprised by when I got older by how many people actually snort cocaine.
I would have to agree with you, sir.
Yeah, I was at a party one time and like people started snorting cocaine. I was like, oh my God, that's cocaine. That's not weed.
It's not sugar.
It was like some lady pulled it out of her breast and was like, I was like, oh my God. Oh my goodness. I didn't know. Yeah, that white horse isn't for me. All right. But yeah, but what's been going on this week? Not people riding the white horse.
It's been an interesting week. I'm gonna tell you, I'm ready for Friday.
Okay.
Right around the corner though.
It is.
How many more weeks y'all got for school?
I got 24 more school days.
Yeah, we're June 7th, I think. We're June 7th.
Okay, so you're a week before us. Okay.
Yeah, so
so you got about a month.
Yeah.
Yeah, about a month. Hey, this is the you know, when it comes to school, this is the long, dark road. You know, just it'd
walking
be like right there.
I was about to say that. Walk in the green mile. I promise you I was about to say that.
Yeah.
I'm liking this synergy tonight. This is gonna be a hot show.
Well, here's my other thing, right? I asked y'all how that's going because for us, parents are like, oh man, we got a couple more days, and y'all like, yes, we got a couple of more. So it's just like the reverse. So yeah.
And, it's always funny because the kids be like, come in, they be like, oh, I don't want to be here. I hate it. And I'll be like, amen, brother and sister, but I can't be like, I'll be like,
to the kids.
I'll be like, who you telling? But I'll be like, no, you gotta be positive, make the best of it. But I'll be like, bruh, I'm crying inside right now.
I have different challenges. So I have the teenager that's come back from college and I forgot how much he eats. And I left my food, my leftovers in the fridge, and I was thinking about it all the way home. Got to the fridge. Nothing was there. It was gone. It was gone. It was just sitting. The plate was just sitting in the sink of what used to be my leftovers.
Man, he ain't washed the plate out for you?
No.
Look, was my nephew doing this number?
He was like, I took the first. It was just like that. I was like, you mean what? He was like, this ain't school food. I was like,
hey, you come back home, man, the food just tastes better.
Oh my God. It wasn't a mouth wipe. It was more like a burp or something.
Yeah, you come back from school, mom's food just tastes better. It's just, it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
But, so what's going on around the internet these days. You know,
I don't know. You're our person who stay on top of that. So tell us.
Same old.
I'll be browsing. I do. Now I was looking at one thing that upset me that I was bothered by. So it's basketball playoff time.
Yeah.
And so and it's actually games going on now. I love this, so I'll be on here. You know what I'm saying? But but so there's a player, Rudy Gobert, plays for the Timberwolves, who I think might win it this year. They looking really good. I don't know, man. Ant-Man, I'm feeling the Ant-Man wave right now. He dunking on fools and just.
I think right now they could go either way, but that's not the point of this. Go ahead. So
go
ahead.
But anyway, they say he's the next Jordan. I don't like that. He ain't the next Jordan. He's the next Ant-Man. But that's
doing too much. But go ahead.
So Rudy Gobert, he's having a baby, right? So he's like, I can't come to the game. Baby's being born, like normal people do. I thought. Well, then Gilbert Arenas was on his podcast and he was like clowning him, like, yo, that's weak. You went to your baby being born. What? You missed the game. And so we got some pushback from that.
Which person got pushed back? The person.
Oh, Gilbert Arenas, because people were like, yo, your baby's being born. And so that's the thing, man. We a lot of times we don't think about the guys having like maternity leave and stuff. That's the thing now. I see people having babies and the men leave work for a few weeks. That's the thing. Your baby's being born.
Absolutely.
I don't know. But Gilbert Arenas, it's the same guy. It's the same guy who had guns in the locker room and ended his career early because he was a jackass. So I think too many people got platforms, man, and just saying.
Being clowned for wanting to be an active, participating father is a very stupid reason to clown. You have nothing else to do with yourself if you clown someone. Yeah. The question is, where's your daddy? Where was your daddy?
Yeah, what kind of father are you? That was a good question. And I don't know the answer to that because I don't care about him.
Where your daddy at? Where your daddy at?
Yeah. But shout out to all the fathers out there who are, watching that baby be born and watching all that gross stuff happen and not passing out when they see it. Shout out to them.
Not passing out.
Yeah, some of the guys are passing out, man. They you look down there and see all that stuff happening, y'all.
Or that inside coming outside. I got you.
Yeah, the insides are coming out. And you'd be like, oh my God, that used to be so much fun. Now it's just.
That's what fun. That's what happened when you have fun. Now it's.
Yeah. But after a couple of weeks, you forget all about that. Be right back in there.
You sure
will.
But that libido started popping. But yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. And then the other thing that happened, I think it's over. I think there's been a verdict, a conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
All right, to the battle, the Kendrick and Drake battle. I think there's been a conclusion. I think most people are saying that Kendrick won, and it's over. So
hallelujah.
So shout out to Kendrick, who's I think he.
Wait a minute.
Maybe
Church finger.
Church finger is up. Yes, Dr. Lorraine.
I heard the word on the street is somebody went around Drake's house and did some clack, clack, clacks.
Yeah. That's so. Yeah, somebody went to people on that. Somebody went to his house, shot up the place, shot a bodyguard.
So is it really over? What is it?
It's probably over because of that.
So I'm going to announce the real winner of the beef would be J. Cole. Because J. Cole was right. J. Cole was like, hell nah, y'all ain't gonna have me, talking I'm a pedophile and have people shooting at me. And he over there chilling, got his feet up, riding his bike around with socks on and stuff, like he be doing, just cool, laid back guy, chilling, doing what he do. Somewhere around where he live at. Does he live in Fayetteville?
No, he's actually
just from Fayetteville.
He's from Fayetteville. He's from Fayetteville. Where's he live at now?
Durham, from my understanding.
Oh, he lives in Durham. Oh, so he's in the Bull City.
Durham, in the Bull City.
He's He's a Dermite now. Let me call him Dermites.
Mm-hmm.
So shout out to J. Cole, man. So he out here just chilling, and everybody's going through it, getting shot at, and all right. So
making
sometimes
money, staying low. So
get your money, stay low.
So can we bring the congregation to one accord to discuss the I'm sure you all have seen and heard about this, Pastor Keon Henderson.
Hush somebody.
Oh, yeah. What happened with that? 'Cause I keep hearing about Pastor Henderson. You know, I'm not up on the pastors these days like that. Sad to say. Sorry, Mom.
Oh, you're fine. So there was a woman in his choir that during praise and worship, she was appearing to feel the spirit. Something was moving about her.
Something was moving.
Stop making your eyes do that, Pearl. And so he hushed her. Like literally, he went over and told her to be quiet. Hush. And told her to be quiet.
Oh, that's what happened.
Yo, you gotta watch it if you haven't watched it.
What kind of spirit was she feeling? Was it?
He said like you gotta learn the difference between feeling the spirit and someone just trying to distract you. That's what.
I saw the interview where he said distraction versus. What was she doing? Was she like, the spirit?
No, she was. You know what? I can't.
She was in the spirit, and she was just crying out. If you like,
I know when
but he wasn't even finishing what he was saying. She just always seemed to right as he was talking.
He was singing. He had started singing.
Oh, he was singing too good.
He was singing too good.
And according to him, she does this often, and she's been told to stop that mess.
Oh, is she a church troll? Okay.
Yeah.
I get it.
So I don't know, because I won't there. None of us were. If it was not real, she's a very good actress, because the cry out really sounded like somebody that was really going through some stuff.
So she just out here feeling the spirit going through things. He
said that was not the situation. But I don't know. I don't know about some of these pastors, because sometimes it's all about optics, right? And depending on who's telling the narrative and who's speaking the loudest with that narrative. So I don't know. I don't know what the truth really is.
So any church folks out there, what's going on? What y'all think? What's going on? I don't know. I'm not the target audience for that one, but that's interesting, you know.
Yeah.
I don't be in there like that, but you know, hey, if you feel in the spirit, I remember being in church and people, I remember people be feeling the spirit and stuff, and I was up front one time. I got up front somehow. I think my dad probably made me go up there. And the guy was trying, you know, people touching me, fall. Oh, and the preacher was he was like, I was like, bro, he was pushing my head. I was like, I'm feeling, I'm good. He was trying to make me give me the cue to pass out. I was like, oh no, bro, I'm not participating in that right now. Not saying that people are fake, but I just wasn't. I never had the pass out thing going.
I've never had to pass out either.
I'd be looking around. I'd be like, oh shoot, okay, ooh. But I ain't.
I can't.
It just never happened to me. I don't know. Maybe one day. But yeah, maybe. I was wondering what was going on with that. But he was pushing my head. I said, man, stop pushing my head.
I hope you didn't go back to that church.
That was my church. I had to go back. It was a house rule, bro.
You will be to church every Sunday.
I was back the next Sunday. Man, stop pushing my head.
Well, at least they're pushing you this way and not that.
But shout out to the church. You know, shout out to y'all and everybody. You know, Church of God in Christ. You know, shout out to y'all. You know, they you know, I grew up on it, so I'll leave it at that. Maybe that's another show for another day. right?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do that.
For
Let's do
another
that.
day.
No doubt. No doubt.
So what's
I
our
got
topic, Doc?
So the topic of conversation this evening has to do with, are we placing labels on children in order to promote gentle parenting? Um,
Excuse me.
you are so excused. So we see children who,
Oh, can't hear you.
I don't know why.
There
Can you
you
hear me
go.
now?
Yep.
you got that Obama microphone.
No, my internet must have been doing something. All right, I'm back.
Nah.
So in the schools, we have a lot of children who are going through displaying various behaviors. And so oftentimes children are getting labels, or being identified with a disability or whatever the scenario may be, depending on the situation. And so that's going to be our topic of conversation tonight. And we definitely want to engage our audience. So, audience, please feel free to drop your thoughts, questions, comments, as we have dialogue, so we can share them and elaborate on your thoughts too with this. So, to give an example, for example, in the school, children may be deemed as being lazy. Little John comes in and he don't want to do his work. And so we say, "Oh, he's just being lazy. He don't want to do. He just won't get right." But the parent will come in and say, "No, that's not what the problem is. The problem is you're not challenging my baby.
Woo.
You're not stimulating his brain. He's bored. It's not that he's lazy. Stop calling my child lazy. He's bored." So that's where we are. That's where we're going tonight. And then that's the academic side of it. Let's talk about these behaviors. Can we please? A lot of our children have a lot of behaviors. And one other thing that constantly is coming up and being said, which I really have a problem with, is due to the pandemic. Our children are having issues because of the pandemic. And that's why he's acting out, because he doesn't or she doesn't have the social skills, because during the pandemic they were isolated and they don't know how to communicate. So it's a lot of it's this topic is kind of loaded, because we can go in a whole lot of different directions with this topic. But the bottom line is, are we, let me say it correctly, are we labeling our children in order to make a statement that the problem isn't what may be obvious? The problem is because of this mental health disorder, or this learning disability, or this whatever you may want to give it. The classroom is not conducive to learning.
I'm gonna say yes, and that's not to downplay that there are people who actually have true challenges, or children have true challenges. So I'm not downplaying that. I'm just realizing that, especially, and this is from my experience with our Black boys, that every time they go a little left and they do what kids do, right? It's like there's a pill they want to give them, or a label, or put them inside of a box. And these labels are labels they're not going to be able to just wake up one day and go, okay, that's not me anymore. Just for myself, from my experience with my boys, they were kids, right? Kids do what kids do. But as soon as they did something, it would be like, well, have you ever thought of getting him evaluated for blah, blah, blah? If he had this pill, they calm down. And I'm just like, how about he's misbehaving? Or maybe he needs to be in something to take his energy, that will let him pour his energy out, things like that. Again, that was just always the first thing that people ran to. And I noticed that a lot with people. I noticed that with young adults, they like to self-diagnose. And Yeah, self-diagnose is for real. Get off of WebMD. It'll take you down places you don't want to go. So I'm gonna say yes. Some of us, not all of us, because some of us are experiencing true challenges with our children, but others, yes. I feel it's a scapegoat plan on parenting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so me being in the classroom, you know, it's been a long time. I think 17, 18 years now.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think it's a lot of labeling. I see kids who we make excuses for a lot of times. They can behave because I'll get kids being a football coach. I coach football,
Mm-hmm.
young boys, and so I'll get kids who in the classroom they'll have this label. They'll be like, oh, they have defiant disorder, or they have
right.
They have some kind of like that. So you guys just let them do what they want to do because they have a disorder, and then they'll have like ADHD. But when they get on the football field, and I'm being how I am with them, and I'm being tough on them, they learn the whole football playbook. They're doing everything I ask them to do. You know, they're standing still. They're doing what they wanted. They're doing what they're supposed to do. So that's when I start thinking, I don't know. Some of this, I think a lot of it, some of it is legit that kids have issues. But some of it is like kind of babying. Because when you kind of, when you're tough on them, and a lot of times the kids want you to be tough on them.
Absolutely.
I'm hard on the kids and at the moment they might not like it as much, but like shortly after they're like, yo, we survived that. Hey.
Yeah. Kids want discipline.
Yeah, like kids want discipline. Like, yo, we survived it. We're okay. You know what I'm saying? So, I think we baby them. And then standard wise, I think we have lower standards with behavior sometimes because I'll have kids come up to me and they'll say like, oh man, you know what? Hey, this week, man, I behaved this week. I didn't get suspended at all. And I'm like, that's trash. You're not supposed to get suspended. You're not supposed to be that should be an afterthought. So yeah, we get people that kind of come in and just say, if you could just behave, oh, you did great today. In the meantime, the kid can't read well.
Yes.
And so I'm not with it. And so so I think we do put these labels and it's not really warranted.
Yeah, I think some other things that I see, and this is just interacting with young kids who like just graduated from high school. They're like, well, I don't, or even like people with young parents. Oh, well, she doesn't like talking to people. She just stays to herself. Well, you have people stuck in front of the social media and these computers. How are they learning to interact? You come home as a parent, you're doing your own thing. You're not even talking to them. So where are they going to learn to interact at? And then all of a sudden it's maybe they're on the spectrum. Maybe it's just, dude, they just don't have opportunities to learn that. And it's okay to be an introvert. Everyone is not like jazz fingers all the time talking to people. I think the other thing that really gets me is once we get our kids on these drugs, on these medications, it's going to be hard for them to get off of them. So you're sending them down this spiraling, I don't know, rabbit hole, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Because I know when I was a kid, it's been happening. I remember being a kid, and sometimes now, I was like third grade, and they're like, "Oh man, you could be in the gifted class, cool." And I was like, "You're really smart." And then I get to like the next grade, and I get a different teacher, and I have a little bit of struggle in math. I'm like, I'm just asking questions, like kids ask questions, and back then where I lived at. The town I lived at, it's a little backwards. So like a lot of the young black kids, it was like, oh, you got a question? You're learning disabled.
Yeah.
They put me in another class, and I was like, and legit, I was like in the class, and I'm like, hey, so this is the new math class, cool. They're gonna help me out, and they're like doing like, okay, 10 plus 10 is 20. And I'm like, yeah, what? This what? We were just doing multiplication is what happened? Oh no, don't worry about that. Just come in here and behave, and don't give us a hard time, and you want to snap. It's like, what? No, I just had a question. I was like, wait a minute. Last year I was supposed to be in the gifted. What now? I'm in.
Yeah,
it's like, yes. And it was me, and look around, and it's all my homies. It's all like the black kids, and I look around, and we're all in there, like pulled out.
Yeah, but once you got under that label, was it easy to come out? Because that's the problem.
No, it was a wrap. It was like, it wasn't until like I think I got to middle school, and it was like, yo, man, get me out of here, man. I don't need to be here. And so pulled me out. But then I was behind. It was like, wait a minute. So I get back into math class, and they're doing shit. I was like, what? I just started doing multiplication. They were just having us do whatever in there, Yeah. So then it took a minute to get ahead. And I kind of stayed behind. To this day, I'm not like that. I'm not good at math like that. I feel like that kind of held me back. And I think about a lot of other kids who've been through stuff like that. And, getting mislabeled.
Yeah, but the thing is, if you hear it enough, you start saying it about yourself too,
Right.
Like another example is I see like young boys, we know, well, from my experience, boys are rowdy. They like playing. They play, they roughhouse. That's what little boys do. That's what, not to say little girls can't do it, but little boys do. And it's crazy to hear someone say, oh, he won't sit down. He won't da-da-da. He just wants to run around and jump around. Boom, give him a pill. What? It's just let him be. Let them be. Again, it doesn't have to be boys. Just using that as an example. Yeah. It's natural for kids to want to jump around and explore. And
I will say though, I have seen some kids when I'll be like, bro, did you take your medicine today? Please go take it. Yes. So that's what I mean. That's why I feel that way. But I do know that in some cases they need to take a pill.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that there's not a legit issue. It's just everybody doesn't have that issue. And we need to realize that, like, sometimes it's okay for our kids to be disappointed. It's okay for them to hear, no, you cannot have that, or no, that's not going to happen. It's okay for them to hear, you did not do well. Let's try harder next time. It is not going to kill them. It's going to help them value the win, value the yes, value. Mm-hmm. So, I'm saying that also because I hear a lot of times people my age, people are not considered the youth anymore, say, well, what's wrong with this generation? They didn't just wake up and have these issues. We gave them these issues.
Oh, no doubt. When people say what's wrong with this generation, I say, you raised them.
We're walking around talking about, oh, I don't want you to have to go through what I went through. But what we went through is what shaped us, what gave us value, moral foundation. So with anything else, if it comes too easy, we're not going to understand the concept and the value of it. So saying, oh, well, I don't want to disappoint them. And so instead, we're going to try to subdue children with medication labels and things of that nature. Yeah, it's not going to work. It's not working. I don't even say it's not going to work. It's not working.
But I did definitely had one. I remember one kid who, like, when he didn't take his medicine one time, he didn't take it, and he was legit like jumped on the desk and was leapfrogging between the desks. He was going nuts with it. And I was like, whoa, what is happening? Mm-hmm. And so, kid took his medicine. He was like, hi, Mr. Knox, what's going on?
I was
like, whoa, that is some good medicine.
How old is he?
I was like, he was middle. He was like he was a sixth grader, I think. So he was like 11, 12. Okay. And I was like, now, and I'm normally like, with medicating. But in that case, I learned that day. I was like, ooh, some of this medicine is okay. I was like, ooh, that's okay. So yeah, sometimes they do need it, but overall, I think a lot of times we definitely even when they need the medication, I think I am a big fan of high expectations though for everybody. Because I think sometimes when we do have kids who do have troubles and some struggles, then we lower the expectation for them. And
because now we're just like, oh, he has da. Oh, she's da, without even trying.
Yeah, because it's easier for the adults. And my thing in dealing with kids, I've always, for years, my thing has always been, whenever I get frustrated or whenever I feel a way about things, I always sit back and go, okay, what's best for the kids? And sometimes it's not what's best for me, you know. So sometimes, you know, if you may have to deal with kids, you know, bouncing around a little bit.
Yeah.
You may have to deal with some things, but whatever's best for the kids is what you normally should do.
Yeah, but it's not always what's easier either. And I think that's what we're looking for.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, you're a parent, I'm a parent. It is not easy. If you're an active parent, there's some days you come home from work and you just are not in the mood. You don't want to do it. But here are these kids relying on you, child, whatever. Not in the mood. I remember doing math homework. I'm over here like, shit, I'm not good at math. But I'm saying, like,
bro, we gotta get on Google, bro. We're gonna have to.
Or I remember football games and wrestling and science fairs, and I'm tired, but
yeah.
In the words of most kids, I didn't ask to be here, and I know that, you know. So was it tiring? Yes. Was there times where I was sitting in games and kind of like, you know, sleeping one eye? Yeah, but I definitely didn't think popping a pill was gonna make it better. So
yeah, it's medication, and then also sometimes I think when you put labels on kids, I know sometimes I notice, and people say, like with our kids, like they'll say, like with Black kids, sometimes they're seen as older than what they really are. And so they'll get labeled as sometimes the kids get labeled as trouble when, you know, because they feel like, oh man, here they come.
Yeah.
Trouble, you know, and it's like they're kids. We forget they're kids and we see them as like, I know in school sometimes just being around this isn't always everybody, but some people see the kids as adversaries, just straight villains. And it's like, and they forget that they're kids. And sometimes I have to remind people, hey, you're not, it's a kid. Hey, no, that kid is wilding out because, you know, they got this going on at home or that going on.
Right.
Because I never forget. So years ago, I had a kid, and I always tell the story. I tell it to my classes sometime when we talk about understanding other people. But I had this kid, I'm doing morning duty, and kid comes in. He's a short kid, played football for me the year before. And I'm like, hey, you guys sit down over here. You got to be quiet. And he just jumped up and was like, yo, what's up then? Like got in my face, squared up with me. I was like, he was ready to go. I was like, yo. So, you know,
because.
So for a second, you know, just my, you know, testosterone was like, yo, what you talking about? But then I looked at it, oh man, it's a kid. So it was like, it's early in the morning, nothing's happened between us. He's on 11, he's beyond 10. What's going on? So so I backed up and I told him, I'm like, yo, we're not gonna fight, bro. We're at school. What's going on, man? He's like, oh, yo, what's up? You telling me to? I was like, come on, man, calm down. Hey, let's go in the hallway. Took him to the hallway, kind of separated him from his friends. So, so he ain't got to impress nobody or stand on no business, as they say. And so I ended up talking to him and check it out. So the night before he's going to school, he's talking to his mom, and his mom is like, yo, I've been having the secret. I was hoping I didn't have to tell you, but yo, son, I got cancer. And they told me, and his mom tells him that the doctor said she's got like not much longer because it's like it's spread. It's like
it's aggressive.
And so he's like a middle school kid, happy-go-lucky. And next thing you know, he gets told that. So, you know, he's pissed. He's hurt.
Rightfully.
But when you're hurt, sometimes that sadness gets converted to anger. So he comes to school, and I'm the first person to say something to him. And he was like, let's go. Yeah, you got to get it for what's happening at home.
Yeah.
You know how to manage his emotions. So, like, other teachers were like, yo, he's a thug. He's crazy. He's trying to fight.
Yep.
And I was like, nah, he's a kid. Let's find out what's happening. You know, so they already put that label on him and like, just like, you know, but sometimes you got to understand what's going on with people before you put a label on them. And yeah, he was hurt. He kind of broke down, and we talked about it, and and he had to process his emotions. But we gotta remember with the kids that they're kids, and when they're acting crazy, and when they're being fools out here, there's a reason.
Yeah, sometimes it's a symptom to something much deeper. So
yeah, because kids just don't jump off like that normally unless something's going on. So that's why people always ask. They always say, "Wow, how are you so patient and calm with the kids?" I said, "Cause they're kids. It's the adults I don't like. Now the adults, I'll be like, yo, y'all can, I ain't got time for you. But the kids, I got time for the kids, but they will test your patience, make you earn your check, but you gotta have patience, man. You gotta have some understanding out here. I think a lot of people, could learn that,
So so I know a lot of time you and Royal talk about like, the school system and things like that. Do you see those kids, and that's just general, that you really have the most challenge and barriers with? Do you see that their parents are active in things having to do with school and activities and things like that? Like, do you see their parents?
Yeah. So
do you see a difference between the parents that are active and the ones that are not?
Yeah. So the crazy thing about parents and kids, you start like it's. I laugh a lot of times because I have a kid who will be a certain way, and I hadn't seen the parents, hadn't talked to the parents, and then I'll talk to the parent or see them, and it's like, oh, apples and trees. The parent, like a kid is turning up in class, parent comes to the school, turns up on the principal or somebody.
Really?
Oh, what? Yeah, because they come in with the bonnet out, come to school, yo, and it's like, oh, that's what's going on. So a lot of times you got active parents, and then you got parents that are like the parents who the kid comes home, they go to their room, they don't speak to the parent, close the door, and like the parent opens the door, like solitary confinement, drop some food in, hey, kid.
That's eats. If they even drop food in.
Yeah, I mean, or the kids making their own food, and so they're not engaged at all. So I noticed those kids normally don't really connect with people, so they don't connect with you as much. Like they're not the kid that's going to be like, oh, coach, hey, woo woo woo. They're kind of like just real distant because they're distant with their people, and so when you talk to their parents, a lot of times the parents are like, what now, what's going on, So that's an issue that happens with kids. The ones who are super engaged, you got the friend parent. You got the parent who's like, yo, that's my homie, bro. Like yo, that's they come up to the kid, comes to the car, twin, and they're like,
that's my broke best friend. That's the other one.
Oh, that's the homie. They not really parenting. They just out they shopping, matching sneakers, but they not really teaching no lessons. So that kid comes to school and they ain't got a lot of home training a lot of times. So they're gonna be rude to you. They're gonna have attitude.
Well, they haven't learned the respect of someone who's in authority.
Right? Yeah, that's kind of that's becoming a dying thing with some people now, man. But those are the ones that So I just when I deal with kids, I also remember, and I always tell myself, oh yeah, I'm not their daddy. I'm not their dad. I'm not here to raise them. So like when kids have attitudes and they're rude, I'll like, hey, let's be respectful. And if they don't get that, then I'll try to teach what I can teach, but I don't get really emotional about it and get all pissed off about it because I'm not the dad. Somebody failed them right there. I feel bad for you. Somebody failed you.
So do you think that, and again, I'm asking you from being inside the school system, you see labels placed on kids that follow them? Is that correct?
Yeah. Those labels follow you a lot of times. Now with the medication, like what happened with me, I see some kids I think are smarter because they're smarter than the label they have. So I think they could get pushed more. but they just kind of don't. Just comes from at home, and then too in the building. Especially if a kid has a lot of behavior challenges, teachers are like, bro, like, please just behave. Just let me teach you people who aren't giving you a hard time. So those kids kind of get, they kind of slip through sometimes because it's tough because teachers got it kind of hard right now. It's big classes, there's a lot of expectations and pressures, and they want you to teach a test for my core teachers out there. It's hard out there, so they out here struggling. Everybody trying to figure it out, and and that COVID year, man, that did kind of mess a lot of the kids up, man. We came back from COVID, the kids were nuts. They were crazy.
Not nuts.
Oh man, I mean, I say that with love, but they were kids were fighting. They didn't know how to be like socially. They were all jacked up. They were all out of whack because
some of them were like seriously struggling with depression, and then when they got back into school, that depression turned into anger.
Oh yeah, depression and sadness a lot of times turns to anger and frustration, and then people lash out. So like kids were fighting. Kids were like really didn't know how to interact socially, and so it was really rough, man. I remember that first regular year was crazy at our school, and it was all over the place. It was just like, and our school was kind of we not no East Side High or nothing, but that year we felt like it.
So hey guys, I'm back. I'm so sorry. What's up, peoples? I'm sorry. Anyway, the life of a mother. So listen, I heard all this conversation. I was listening. When we think about parents in all of this, because I heard a lot of the conversation centered around the child, right? And the teachers. Do you feel, because Mr. Chocolate, you're in the school system, Pearl, from a parent, right? But from a parent standpoint or community spectator, if you will, do you all see parents placing, I'm gonna say, blame on other factors so that way they don't have to, and I'm gonna say parent, so that way they don't have to be that firm parent that comes in and acknowledges the situation is what the situation is?
Yeah. Yes.
Using the examples that you gave.
So from a parenting, from an outside of the education system, I was like the group mom, like they'd be like, hey miss, blah, blah, whatever. And I would definitely be like, y'all not supposed to be over there. Get over here, you're not, that type of thing.
Yeah.
But those same kids were labeled at school, so they were like falling in line with the labels because you're just like, hey, y'all keep calling me that. And some of these kids, I've fed them. I've brought them to my house. I had one kid who got into it with his mom's boyfriend. That boy slept over my house. His mama never came to look for him, never texted, never nothing. So I can't judge everybody just off of what one side of the story. But I can say, as a parent, I didn't even see parents around. And then when things went wrong, if the parent came around, it was like, well, if y'all didn't and you can't and y'all keep doing it, was never, well, I do this. Because I would even say, well, if your mom or dad's working 2 jobs, I get it. It wasn't even that. So they would just come on the scene and be ready to rah-rah at the teacher or the coach, for certain things. So it was a lot of finger pointing, a lot. Even though they weren't around, it was a lot of finger pointing.
Okay. Okay. And I think I heard this earlier, which is with regards to these labels being placed by the parent or the school, whichever. Sometimes what I see is a situation where there's a financial benefit to this. So sometimes, and sometimes I have observed parents wanting a label to be placed on their child in order to get a disability check or some type of financial support for various reasons. I mean, we do all understand that nobody on this podcast is a millionaire, billionaire. So with that being said, that it's hard out here in these streets, right? And so with that being said, I think sometimes parents use that as a means of what's the word? Increasing their financial ability.
I've seen that too.
Yeah, I haven't really experienced that, but I could see that. Yeah, I could definitely see that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Most of the parents I come across, I have a lot of people that be in denial and stuff.
And why denial? That's just a general question for anybody. I mean, I know we can't speak for nobody. Go ahead.
It's easier to process when you act like you don't know or don't come face to face with the person in the mirror about what's really happening. It's just easier that way. I mean, we've all done it for a reason or so in our lives. It could be something simple like, hey, you need some sleep, but we've done it because it's just the easier scapegoat type of mindset.
Well, then it too is criticism. Like, so if a lot of parents don't want to hear that, maybe I fell short somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So it's like it's easier to be like, oh nah, that ain't me. That's something's wrong with them. Like, that.
I've definitely interacted with women, and I'm not saying all women are like this. I've interacted with women that are like, but he just like his daddy. That's what, and I'm like, what? Is that the answer to why things aren't working? He just like his daddy. His daddy wasn't no good. His daddy in jail. Blah blah blah. That's why he don't act right. And so again, now we have another label like, oh well, you're like genetically predisposed to being whatever. Like, come on. Yeah.
And go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I've definitely had people tell me that, in the class, like, oh, hey, I wasn't good at it. I hear this a lot over the years. Oh, I wasn't good at that either. I'm sure they're not good at it either. So, I struggled in school. So it's gonna be the same thing. And they kind of project that on the kids, and the kids have a built-in excuse. I'm just not. I just can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
So, that whole mentality. That's something I've been fighting for years with kids that I work with. Especially like because I'm in athletics, so I work with a lot of athletes, and I spend a lot of time like, you got to get. We don't do that here. And right. I'm like, no, you can. You can and you will. Like that's how we're gonna start off.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can't, we're gonna be surprised by it, but we're not gonna just be defeated from the beginning. Just mentality. I think mentality is different in some groups of people, and you gotta, luckily some of them let me do my thing, and it helps some that later they go, man, I never knew they could do that. Never knew, because everybody I coach got to be good in the classroom. And so I give them hell about it, and they end up doing it. And teachers are like, they're like, oh my God. Like when I'm doing football, it's like, oh my God, football season's almost over with. Oh no, they're about to go crazy on us. And it's like, hey man, I'm gonna give y'all November, and then hopefully something sticks with some of them. But but they'd be shook. Oh my God, football's almost over. Because when they're playing football, they behave. They're doing that work.
Right.
You're giving them that discipline too, right?
And I'm like, so you can do it. So what's up? You can do it. Clearly, you're doing it now. You continue to do it. You just gotta be motivated. We gotta find ways to motivate some of the kids.
And that's the key. Yeah, it's all about motivation. So, because my thought is to you all is, do we need to train or support our parents on parenting?
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, it would be nice if they're open to it, but
and would they be even open to it?
Sadly, I don't know, because again, it's just that ego part of it. Like nobody wants to hear that, hey, I'm not doing this right, or
Nope.
this is going not. I'm not doing it the way
You're
I should
messing
be
up.
doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because I get parents, I've had several parents. I call a parent, they be asking me for it. They be asking me, "Oh, what do I do?" Maybe they be open because some of them do ask. I don't know. What would you do? I'm like, yo, I'm just letting you know that they slapped somebody or that they
Yeah.
like. I thought you were gonna do what you
Take
do,
care of that.
but
And,
some
and
people
that's
have
why
no
I'm
clue.
asking this question because yeah, like it just seems like maybe um many of our parents, and it's bananas because for me, when I look at these children, I'm like, first of all, I'm old enough to be your grandma. No, real talk. I'm like, because their parents are my children's age.
Oh
Like
my
I'm
Yeah,
God, I
like,
cannot. Go ahead.
do you
yeah,
experience this? And it didn't dawn on me till like recently, like the past month. I had a 25-year-old young lady come in to have a conversation about her child.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh wow, okay. That was my response. Cause in my head was saying, because I'm like, yo, sweetheart. And I end up telling her that she's my daughter's age.
Yeah.
But because in my head was freaking exploding because I'm like, yo, I am old enough to be your mama and your child's grandmama.
Honey.
And so the nurture in me wanted to try to support her,
Yeah.
obviously, which is why I'm asking this question because it just seems like you said, Tyrone, like a lot of the parents will actually ask, well, I don't know what to do. Do you have any idea, any suggestions?
yeah,
So that way they can be more hands on
Mm-hmm.
instead of this hands off gentle parenting stuff,
Mm-hmm.
right?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I do see a lot of the hands-off parenting. Just because it's easy, the kids go to the room. You just make sure you feed them, and don't abuse them, and send them to school and let the teachers deal with it. Because some parents would tell me, I legit had a lady tell me, I called, kid was being a straight menace out here,
Uh-huh.
just a menace in the school. Gave a call. Y'all keep calling me. What do y'all want? You're like he at school. Like, handle it. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, legit was like annoyed. Like, what? Like, answer the phone. What?
Like
What?
it's your time of the day,
As
not
soon as you call
mine.
ID, they're like, what? What now? What do you do now?
Oh
Like, just
wow.
handle it. She told us, just handle it. I don't know. So, and that kid, so, and I was in the class, and sometime in class, when I got a big class of kids acting up, I'll call during class. I'm gonna call your mom. And the kid was like, call her. Oh, he looked like, oh, I'm entertained. Please do.
If she pick up the phone.
She was about to turn up on me. I was like, oh, nah. Ended the conversation. I see she was ready to turn up.
Oh no.
So how did you because I heard you say earlier, even though I was offline, I could still hear, thank you, Pearl. I could still hear what was going on. I was multitasking. And so one thing I heard you say, Tyrone, is understanding the child. Like,
Right. Yeah.
right? So with this particular young man whose mama was like, what do you want? Stop calling me, you handle it. Did you take a different approach with him to help redirect or
Yeah, I
motivate
did.
him?
Actually, I did. So what I normally do with a kid like that, so that ain't gonna work. So I kind of went towards, I kind of went towards the mentor way, and I was just like super positive with him because it sounds like he don't get anything positive. His mom sounded kind of negative, so I'm like, he doesn't get much. So I just kind of was like super positive with him, and just kind of trolled him. Some kids I just troll them with positivity, like the real, like they'd be real evil towards me, and I'll be like, "Oh, that's okay. It's okay. Your feelings are valid." But look, and I'll just hit them with it, and a lot of times, eventually they'll just be like, either they'll be like, "Bro, okay, you just not giving me that energy that we're not gonna go back and forth." So whatever, or they'll kind of calm them down a little bit. But right now, this is kind of recent, so this is the jury's out on this one. He's still kind of being a menace, so I don't know. I'm giving him a couple more classes of the nice guy, then I don't know. I might have to turn it up on him, but we'll see. I hope not. But yeah, but I do that a lot of times. I got all kind, you know, you be in a game long enough, you get all kind of tactics you use with different kids.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes, you know, because when I first started teaching, they started hitting me with the you know, the black man trick. Oh, we need a strong black man for all these. Oh, we give you a terrible class. So you're a strong black. We need a black. Oh. And every time something happens, they come calling me. Oh, Mr. Knox. Oh, we're so glad. And eventually I realized, wait a minute, you guys are being lazy, taking advantage of. No. So I'm like, hold on. I'm not coming. It's like 3 grown people right there. Y'all got it. I'm down here minding my business.
Yeah.
Right? So, you know, but you learn what to do. You learn how to, you know, once you see them as kids, you try to find out what that thing is that's really got them acting up, and you try to figure it out. And sometimes, like I said, you got to just realize, oh, I'm not their daddy. Hey, bro, I'm gonna call somebody to come get you.
Yeah.
I ain't got time to raise you. Because then I gotta protect my mental health. I ain't gonna be flipping out.
Right. No, I understand that. Absolutely.
And my kids will tell you, number one thing I say is, I do not argue with children. We're gonna have a conversation, but we're not going back and forth with arguing. If we gotta argue, you gotta go. You gotta go. Because it's my class. And they tell you, you don't argue with children. I know. All right. You better kick me out, aren't you? Yeah.
Well, there's this new, I say new, but it's been a recent trend of allowing children, and I think we talked about this on a previous show a while back, concerning concerning parenting, right? And how the trend is to let children just do what they do and learn experientially. I think that's the correct term. Just through experience, you know, and trial and error. If it works, it works. If it don't, it don't. And you just don't really give them a whole lot of consequences. You just let them figure it out. I don't know who came up with this nonsensical method.
I'm going to call error on that. No, it's no trial. It's all error. Flag on the play. It's not working, people, because your kids are coming to school wilding.
Yes, I would certainly agree. So when we talk about these labels and stuff, it kind of goes hand in hand with this new ideology of parenting. No, not theology, ideology of parenting. To just let children figure out life on their own with a smidge of guidance from the parent. And I think that is, but I would agree, we're definitely doing a disservice to our kids by doing that, because like you said, you guys said earlier, like, kids need structure. They need guidance. They want guidance.
They need us, their parents.
You know what's weird about that? I noticed the people who are doing that, the kids are out here looking at parents like, damn, I thought you were supposed to raise me. They're looking down when you like, they're not respecting the parent. Like, I'm trying to get some
like, I don't feel like it. Like, you're not the one who brought the child out to the. I just don't feel like it.
I don't feel like parenting today.
Yeah, that's how some of us are approaching. I don't feel like parenting. I don't feel like discipline. This is a lot of work. Well, surprise, that is not anything that's new. So yeah.
Should have wore a condom.
I think we also tend to forget the easy part is getting pregnant. Everything else is a challenge.
Yeah, it's a challenge, man. You got, it's a big responsibility. Because, but now we got some good kids too. So and good parents and good parents. I've met a lot of good parents. So we're just talking about the certain element. But I've met some good parents. I will say I've met some great fathers along my journey in coaching and education. So when people talk about fathers, like, I've met some really cool fathers that are really engaged and and like you call them, they straighten everything out. They I mean, just doing the man thing. And so shout out to all the good fathers out there that I've known, man, and a lot of really good Black fathers, man, that I've met along the way. So it hasn't been all bad. It's a lot of good ones out there.
You don't get credit too.
Yeah, and I remember I would get mad because there'll be certain kids and talk about labels and like kind of stereotyping. Kids act up, and teachers would be like, "Yo, call the mom." I'm like, "Yo, no, this kid, I know this kid's dad." And they're like, "Oh, his dad." Like, especially like with some of my Black kids, like I've legit.
I believe it.
Like it'll be like the look on people's faces, like their dad. Like, yeah, their dad doesn't have fathers too. Oh yeah, okay. And like call the father. Oh wow, he's awesome. So sometimes like first person I call normally is dad when I call a kid's parents, because I'll ask a kid. Sometimes the kids be a little slow. Cause I'll be like, I say that with love. It's always with love. But I'll be like, hey, which parent is mean? And they'll be like, oh, my dad. Oh my God. Oh, don't call my dad. Oh, say less. Call your dad, bro. The dad, and they get it done, So
right.
Yeah, so I definitely just want to say that before we get out. Like,
no, I agree.
Really, really good.
100% agree. Yeah. So, well, while we're talking about the dads, also Sunday's Mother's Day. So shout out to all the active mothers out there as well. A lot of us would not be where we are today with our mama's mom, Mima, all the stuff that we call mothers. So the Experience family definitely want to shout out the mothers in our circle and the Experience fam. You help the world go round along with the wonderful fathers, but it's your day Sunday, so definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I want to give a shout out, shout out to Valerie Knox, my mom. Always, dope mom.
That's Mama Chocolate.
Yeah, just one of the sweetest ladies you ever meet. Just like just sweet, nice, but she'd be ferocious for us when we were coming up. If somebody messed with us, it was a problem. But other than that, she was like super nice, super sweet. Christian lady, and she like does the loving Christian thing. It's not like the judging Christian thing.
Aww.
That's why when I met other Christians, I was like, what's going on? You're not like my mom. It's weird. So it was a shout out to my mom, and shout out to my wife, who's a wonderful mother. She's probably a better parent than me, honestly.
Shout out to Mrs. Chocolate.
She's like just dope mom. Like I can't keep up, man. I can't keep up. I try to, but she's really good, man. Just good parent, good mom. So shout out to her, and try to get something going, man, for those two. I'm not good at planning stuff, but I gotta figure something out. That's gonna be great. All right.
They'll appreciate it.
All right.
Cool. Go on your spiel, Mr. Chocolate. Go ahead.
All right. So, hey guys, make sure. Before we got people here watching, before y'all log off, please hit that like button. It helps us out. We're out here trying to do our thing on these YouTube and social media streets. Hit the like button. If you can, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. All right, the Experience is right. It's right down there. Go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube, and jump on the Facebook group, and feel free to leave us a message. Tell us what you think. If we suck, say, hey, y'all suck, and tell us why. Don't be too mean though.
Don't be giving them all them ideas now.
Be careful what you wish for, right? But if you got ideas, feedback, let us know. You want to jump on and you want to comment, go live, let us know. We'll be glad to have you. We're always welcome guests. It's all love. We do this, it's fun, it's therapeutic, and we're here for the people, man. So if you got ideas, let us know. Because people do hit me up. They be like, yo, I was watching y'all and stuff. Why didn't you comment? Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, that happens to me too.
At school. I was in the office. A lady gonna talk about, hey, Mr. Chocolate. Like, yo, what you doing? We're at school. They're gonna think they're gonna start spreading rumors.
Right, that part. You moonlighting.
She just without no context is gonna say, "Hey, Mr. Chocolate, well, hey, chill out." They're gonna be, but you know,
that's
school
their Wednesday 9 o'clock name, not that 8 to 5.
Yeah. You know how school is. So if a female teacher is walking by you, you say something. Oh, they dating, they doing something, they messing with each other.
They do.
So, yeah, man. But please get active with it, and and do all of that, man. All right. Oh, Bravado, what's going on, Bravado?
Hey.
She said I try to comment all the time. She knows your screen name. Yeah.
She know who he is.
Yeah. Well, I don't need no scandals in my life. Scandal free, that's how you mess your money up. Scandals mess the money up. All right. All right, guys. So we hit y'all next time. You're part of the experience, where the experience is always good. Peace.